Hey everyone, Zach here from Windows Central and welcome back to another video. Now today we're taking a look at Windows 11 build 23493. This build includes a number of notable changes and enhancements over the last few preview builds and indeed the last build video, which was a few weeks ago at this point. In fact, there's quite a lot in here. Most of which is new specifically to this build, some of which is stuff we've missed over the last 2 weeks, but we'll jump into all of it now, starting with the biggest thing in this build, and that is Windows Copilot. So Microsoft announced this last month. The Windows Copilot is a new virtual assistant, essentially, for Windows. You can see it's pinned to the taskbar by default down here next to the search box. Right-clicking the icon does nothing, but if you want to jump into settings here, you can turn the icon on or off, just like other system icons. You can see here it says Copilot Preview. If I select that to off, of course, that will hide the icon. But we want it on for this video, so if we have it on here and we click on the icon itself, it will pull out a sidebar, which you can see here. And it also conveniently moves over your shortcuts as well as the preview watermark here if you're running a preview build of Windows. And here's what it looks like. In fact, it's very similar to the Bing chat interface, and that's because it is the Bing chat interface. What Microsoft is essentially doing here is using Microsoft Edge to pump in the Bing chat interface that you can find in Edge, but with a little bit of Windows spice added to the mix. And by Windows spice, what I mean is it can control parts of your system in addition to all of the Bing chat stuff Bing chat can normally do. So, for example, I can turn dark mode off here. So I type that in. It's searching for the right action. And then it says, hey, sure, would you like to switch to light mode? You select yes. And just like that, you've now switched to light mode. So that's the kind of thing the Windows Copilot can do in addition to everything Bing chat can do. I can do another one here. So take a screenshot. If I could type. Searching for the right action. Opening snipping tool. Snipping tool is open, and there we go. And now I can take my screenshot like so. And now the screenshot has been taken, which is kind of nice. So yes, it can help you out with local commands, for example. It can't do everything yet. Maybe it can open apps. Let's try Open File Explorer, see what happens. Taking a moment here. Aha, okay, so here's where things get interesting. Clearly, it can't open the File Explorer yet. This is still Preview 1. There's still lots of time for this to improve. But right now, it's not very smart in regards to what it considers to be a local action and what should be a search result. In this case, Open File Explorer wasn't a command. It thought it was a search query, so it looked up how to open File Explorer on Windows. But that's the kind of thing you're going to see here in the preview phase. It's not going to be 100% accurate. But in the first two commands, it did pretty well. We can try another one. We can turn on Do Not Disturb mode. We'll see here. It's also not very fast, if you've noticed. It takes... There we go, turn on Do Not Disturb. You'll also notice that you type in a command, and if it is an actual command it understands, it will prompt you before it actually does it. So if you've typed in turn on Do Not Disturb mode, it's not going to just turn it on. It's going to ask you, it's going to double check that that's what you want to do, and then you have to select yes or no, which is kind of annoying, but that is what it is. And like I said, it's Bing Chat, so we can just use it as Bing Chat. So as we've seen before, Bing Chat can do all sorts of things. What's the weather like? And we're doing this. Again, not very fast. Couldn't find my location. Well, it found it anyway. So there we are. That is the weather currently where I am. And then we can also do things like make me a picture of the moon. So there we are. That took a few seconds, but now we have our 4 images there. In addition to that, it can also understand context in certain situations. So, for example, it can analyze Edge tabs because, believe it or not, it is Microsoft Edge behind the scenes. So if I opened up windowscentral.com here, for example, and went to an article of some kind, let's just try here. Let's see. We can ask it to summarize this tab. I spelled summarize in the British way. Let's see if it still understands it. Searching your active Microsoft Edge tab. Taking a moment here. Here we go, and now it's analyzing the content on the web page. So yeah, it's still doing it. It takes a while. It's not very fast. Again, this is a first preview. There's plenty of time for this to improve, but so far it's quite hit or miss, to be fair with you. But it's nice to see that there is a new assistant in town for Windows, and this is only going to improve over time, which is pretty nice. And as you can see here, it does sort of continue to exist even when you have apps maximized. So if I maximize this app here, instead of going above the Copilot and maximizing full screen, it matches up to the sidebar here. So the sidebar remains active and visible, whereas the other app here is taking up the rest of the space. And if I drag over to the far right here, you'll see that the actual snapping assist becomes active much earlier than if this sidebar was closed. Now, if I snap two apps side by side, let's try this here, see what happens. And then I close the sidebar. Okay, Windows is smart enough to adjust things as you would expect. So that's cool to see. We reopen it. Oh, well, okay. So that's not as good, but it still did a relatively good job there, which is not bad. So yes, that's the Windows Copilot. If we open up the settings area for it here, there's not much to configure right now. You can just tell it to not analyze Microsoft Edge if that's something you prefer for privacy reasons or whatever. But yes. Moving right along, the next notable change in this build is with the settings app. So if we jump into settings here and go to, well, nowhere, it's here. This is the new homepage for the settings app. They've added a dedicated sort of home feed. I don't know what you'd want to call this, home page, landing page, that basically gives you an overview of all the sort of common settings you might want to configure, as well as an overview of your account, cloud storage, security, etc, etc. So up here you can see we've got recommended settings. We can jump straight into installed apps, display, or the lock screen customization. We can configure our Bluetooth devices directly from here as well. We can jump straight into viewing our cloud storage, and also the ability to add a recovery number to our Microsoft account, for example. So I think this is all contextual. So some of this will change depending on what you do and don't have set up. Of course, if I had Microsoft 365 on this account, this would probably show me something else, perhaps how long I have left on my subscription or something else entirely. Same goes for having a recovery number on this account. If I had one, this would probably be showing me something else. And then we also have personalize your devices, so you can switch between all the different themes and stuff quickly and easily through this homepage as well, which is pretty nice. Okay, moving on, if we jump into the File Explorer here, this change isn't specifically new to this build, but it's the first time I've seen it enabled, and it's the modern version of the homepage interface here. So if you remember last video, we took a look at the new sort of modern address bar and tab interface along the top, or command bar interface along the top. That's been reverted in this build, but it's still coming, it's still in development. But now I have access to the new homepage interface, and so what that essentially means is, you know, if I highlight boxes here or tick on things, it's using modern Windows 11 design language rather than the older sort of Windows 8 era design language that was currently in use before. So you can see here, yeah, highlighting things, there's now rounded corners on things, tick boxes are bigger and have nice animations to them. If I select something and right click, we get that usual interface there like so. And this is only currently available in the home page. It's not available in other folders, for example. So you see here, this is going back to the old sort of design, but I'm sure they're working on bringing this updated WinUI design to every folder view in addition to the home page. But it's in the home page here in this build, and it looks really nice. And it's another step forward to making the File Explorer a consistent interface on Windows 11. This sidebar here is still the old thing. This thing needs to really be updated. Hopefully they get around to it and don't forget about it. We'll have to wait and see. All right, in the File Explorer itself, another new thing in this build are additional archive formats. So in addition to .zip files, which has sort of been the standard in Windows for a long time now, Windows, starting with this build, now supports archive file formats using the libarchive open source project. So that includes things like .tar, .txz or z, .rar and .7zip. So if we see here, we have a zipped file here. If we right click on it and go to properties, you'll see that this is indeed a 7-zip file, compressed archive folder .7z. And I don't have 7-zip installed. If I type 7-zip here, you'll see that there's no 7-zip client installed here. I'll get prompted to download it if I look for it. But you can see the File Explorer already recognizes it, and I can now right click and extract this file. So if we select extract, I've now extracted that 7-zip file without needing to download the 7-zip client or a third-party client that can handle open source archive formats like 7-zip. And that works again with things like RAR as well. So if I had a RAR file, don't need to download WinRAR anymore. Windows will just know how to unpack it, and that's going to be terrible news for the WinRAR company as a business, I think. But it's not like most of us paid for WinRAR anyway. But look, you can see if I open this file here, like so. Here it is. Here was the picture in that 7-zip, which is pretty neat. We've also got an updated Spotlight interface here. Again, this has been in preview for a while, but I've only just got access to it. And here's what it looks like. So you can right-click on the learn more about this picture icon, which for some reason the icon's gone for me. But here's the interface, and you can see it sort of gets rid of the shortcuts on your desktop as well as the taskbar to give you a full picture. However, I've noticed, I don't know if you can tell based on the quality of the video on YouTube, but the actual desktop image is much higher quality than when I jump into this interface here. The image that they have here is a much lower quality for some reason. Anyway, but you can, of course, change between the different wallpapers here using this interface. So if we wanted to go for this nice green one, we could do, and it gives you a nice description, as well as the ability to learn more. You can map it, see more photos, etc., etc. Okay, lastly, and I think I may have showed this off before, but if I haven't, I'm doing it again now. There's an updated sound output volume mixer interface here, which allows you to easily select between different output devices, as well as change the volume of specific apps. So if I had Edge open here, like so, and I go to youtube.com. Also, my Edge, the dark mode in this build on Edge is incredibly dark. It's like OLED dark, rather than like a dark grey like we normally find. Anyway, if we play something here, play something that we can play without getting copyright strike. There we go. Let's go to the last build video we did. Just mute that. You'll see that I now get, in theory, yes, the ability to turn down Edge specifically. So if I didn't want it, if Edge was playing music and I didn't want to hear Edge, but wanted to hear something else going on, I could go away Edge, and now Edge is muted because I've turned it all the way down. So that is pretty nice. So there you are. That is a quick look at Windows 11 build 23493. Thank you so much for watching, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.